And it looks like we're live on the HBAR Foundry Town Hall with Patricia C. from SentX, my great co-host and Foundry member. So glad you could all join us for the HBAR Foundry Town Hall, monthly program that we like to do to highlight great aspects of the Hedera ecosystem. And today we have a really awesome lineup of projects. The theme of our town hall today is unlocking the future, exploring Hedera's NFTs and tokens. And we have the inaugural group of projects. Patricia, these are the very first people to do projects successfully on the Hedera network with NFTs. And we're going to be talking to them all today and asking them some questions. Let me just do one thing real quick, because I'd like to encourage everyone to find out more about the HBAR Foundry and what we're involved in. Our mission is to unite the Hedera ecosystem. We focus on standards, evaluating and promoting your projects, as well as communication and tools, open source tools that will create the infrastructure of the future of this ecosystem. So that's our focus. We'd love you to join us. You can join our Friday Zoom calls by going to hbarfoundry.com and filling out the form on the website. So here we go. Let's talk to these folks. Patricia, tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, and also about SentX and its position in the ecosystem.
Absolutely. For the ones that don't know me yet, I'm Patricia C. I'm the co-founder and CMO of SentX. SentX as the leading marketplace on Hedera right now. And we are really happy to be in this position and to work every day to have the best NFTs platform that we can have for the ecosystem.
Okay, good. So since you're in the business of NFTs, let's take these folks one by one. Please, let us know who our first guest is going to be, and let's bring them on and ask them a couple of questions about their NFT project.
Absolutely. We are going to start with May and Cantor first for the questions and for you to know more about each project.
Okay, sounds good. Hey guys.
Hello.
Welcome. So, Patricia, I'll ask the first question, but who should I direct my first question to here?
Oh, it's up to you, Tony. Whatever it feels right, go ahead.
Okay.
I would say May, just because ladies first,
Yes, of course. All right, Michael, cool yourself for a second. May, thank you so much for joining us. We see you're outside. I know you're outside of the gym preparing for your karate combat fight. That's amazing. I know everybody's inspired by that, and we're going to be tuning in, but let's talk about your NFT project. I know there's an NFT project that you wanted to share with us. So tell us a little bit about your inspiration and what it was all about, and we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. So for those who don't know me, I am the CEO of Hashpack Wallet. We are the leading wallet on Hedera. And we've recently completed our INO for our pack token. So the INO is what we did to prepare for a fair launch of the token and get as many of the community members holding pack when it is. And that was completed, I think, a month ago now. And we've been hard at work with the launch of pack, which comes out tomorrow. But today I'm going to talk about the INO collection and how we launched the token, how it came to fruition. So basically, we wanted to launch a utility token and a utility NFT that allowed people to have more functionality, more features in Hashpack, and kind of support our core user base. And so the INO NFT collection, when you hold it, it provides a number of benefits, and we thought really long and hard about all the things that they can provide. So I guess the basic thing about the collection is that we hope that it will be valuable. We hope that people will see it as a cool thing to hold, and that it will make their experience with Hashpack even better. And I guess to keep it short, one of the unexpected things that we came across was when we launched the token, or sorry, when we launched the NFT and we had our sale in our wallet, we sold out in 21 minutes, and we had kind of expected it to take a few hours, maybe a day, but instead it was just like a hot rush to get it, and that was a pleasant surprise for us.
Interesting. Yeah, so I definitely could hear you, May, perfectly on that, Patricia. If there's any question, yeah, she came through just perfectly. Sounds like Patricia may be having a little connection issue. But so let's redefine that, Patricia. The takeaway on May's INO. What are you watched that closely? What did you observe, Patricia?
I absolutely did. It was a very exciting launch, and I myself was there to mint the NFTs, and everyone was excited about it. And it was a great launch in terms of NFTs, and to date, one of the most successful ones in the Hedera ecosystem. And it's really great to see, because we saw that there's volume on Hedera, and the sky's the limit, pretty much, as long as the project can capture the public's attention. So it was a great one.
Great. Do you have stats from that? Oh, go ahead, May, please.
Yeah, we do have some stats there. Actually, we have a post-mortem on the launch that has a bunch of stats that people might be interested in looking at. It's on our blog on hashpack.app, which is the website. But in terms of just commenting on the launch and specific thoughts on it, it didn't go as smooth as we wanted. We actually had a fail-safe for our mirror node provider, and both of them kind of we had issues with on the day of, despite our testing, despite our coordinations. And I guess one thing that we know in Web3 is that never think that everything is going to go smoothly, and always have something as a backup. And, I think that we did the best that we could. We have definitely taken some lessons learned, which are on the postmortem. But I think the biggest thing for projects to take away if they're launching on Hedera is communicate well with your community. Do your best to just say, hey, this is what's happening. Hey, this is what we're doing to fix things. Or, hey, this is the great things that have happened with our project. And just keep up that high level of communication from start to finish. And I think that, despite any hiccups that we had, or despite any kind of criticisms of the NFT prior to the launch, afterwards, people were like, hey, this is actually pretty cool. Hey, we're actually really excited about this. And just the constant communication from our team to our community, I think, really helped to keep community morale high and keep people's confidence in the project high. So
yes,
that's my takeaway.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys did a great job with the communication. Everybody check out the postmortem. I learned there were some valuable takeaways in there in the infrastructure, and making sure that you've got the infrastructure. When you're as popular as Hashpack is in the community, you can get a surge of traffic and blow it out. But look, it's definitely a lesson that we all learned from. You guys took one on the chin for the team, so hats off. It's a valuable lesson for all of us to learn from. Thanks for sharing that. And we'll look forward to, if you're able to hop on to at the end of the call for everybody to talk about the future of Hedera. Hopefully you'll have some ideas for us on there too. So Patricia.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, May. Thank you so much. Okay. So let's get Michael in here. Michael, tell us about your project and how it was, what inspired it and what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. For those who don't know who I am, first off, I'm Michael Cantor, founder and CEO of Tierbot AI, and I'm also the co-creator of Hashnals, which is something that's recently taken the hash graph by storm. At Tierbot, what we aim to do is provide you Web3 data the moment that you need it, and not a moment less. That's kind of our slogan. That's usually what we pitch to folks. And speaking of getting the data the moment that you need it, May was just talking about her highly successful INO launch, just adding on some sprinkles of data there. It was the highest by mint volume at 22 million HBARs, the highest that Hedera has seen, and the third highest by secondary volume as well. I'm seeing some comments that folks can't hear me. Oh, okay, May says that she can. Are you able to hear me, everyone else?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yep. You're good.
Yes. So adding on to the stats, first highest by mint volume, third highest by secondary volume on the network. So at Tierbot, what we're really aiming to do is making analytics for DeFi, NFTs, and now the Hedera consensus service-based standards completely frictionless and more than just opaque charts and graphs. Because let's face it, anyone can really take a graph and a segment under a weekly or monthly view and say it looks bearish or bullish. You can tell any narrative that you want on the internet. Charts don't tell a full story by themselves, and they're often pretty much leading into a particular point of view. Tierbot aims to change that. We'd like for you to ask Tierbot things like which tokens are trending in volume. Is there something strange about this meme coin? And get back those instant insights to human readable responses, charts, graphs, and actions. Purchase, send alert, optimize your holdings in one click. From immediate insights to immediate actions, Tierbot would basically have you covered. That's the dream and the vision that we have for Tierbot. And since, coming back into that launch, we so far have NFT analytics live. And this is alpha, but we are opening up the beta to our DeFi analytics this week, most likely the end of today, actually, for our Defiance holders. Yesterday, we made a major announcement on a shift to how we're going to be managing our utility in the ecosystem. Previously, we've had a collection called the Woke Femmes, which gave folks access to our NFT analytics. And we launched our Defiance, which are hashtags that provided folks access to DeFi analytics. We decided that we're going to move all of our utility into the Defiance collection, which will become essentially our de facto utility collection on the network, giving folks access to NFT analytics, DeFi analytics, alerts, charts, graphs, as well as analytics for new Hashgraph consensus standards that we roll out at Hashgraph Online. So we're doing a whole bunch of things on the utility side, and that's always kind of been our core focus. We like to create NFTs that give you some kind of value back in terms of access or data.
Amazing. You know why I think that's amazing? Patricia, welcome back. You had some network problems,
Thank you.
but you're back. Let me just ask Michael here real quick, because the utility that you're providing to your kind of private membership or subscribership to the project, to me, I see has immediate implications in the enterprise world, with giving certain people access to certain resources on the network based on the NFTs that they hold in their wallet. Would you agree with that, or have you guys thought about that, or has it just happened to be like that?
I think I guess I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that question. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, like I see, so your token holders are going to have access to the analytics because they hold it in their wallet, right? So on the enterprise, I see certain treasuries of data are really a very important asset and should only be given access to certain people. So in enterprise that uses Web3 technology to govern access to company resources using NFTs, this is the code that they would need to do that, what you've developed, potentially.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Long term, we have our retail side at Tierbot where we provide access to retail users, which I think would be the primary beneficiaries for things like NFT and DeFi analytics, right? You're talking about folks who are trading tokens on a day-to-day basis, buying meme coins and things like that. They would stand to benefit the most from having access to analytics. On the flip side, you do have your enterprise companies who are looking for something maybe a little bit different. For example, maybe they have like a consumer engagement or reward model, and they want to know who are the top accounts on the ecosystem based on their holdings and profit, and they want to give them something free or something like that. Or you've got enterprises that just want to measure data at a whole to make a decision based on something. In that case, we probably have an enterprise level API for specific points on data, and it would be different kinds of access to what the retail user would focus on.
Wow, that's super interesting. This could be a whole long discussion also with your work in Hashnell. So Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna move on to the next guest now. Patricia, thank you so much again, Michael. Patricia, who you got?
So can you hear me, Tony? Because I know that I'm having some issues. The thing is, when the guests come on stage, I have them with a gigantic delay, so I'm not asking the questions because I don't hear them finishing the questions because there's a huge delay. So next we have Patrick and Jake. So Patrick from Earthlings and Jake from Grelf.
Okay, great. We'll do two at a time then, like that. Sounds good. Okay, so Patrick, let's start with you, my friend. Tell us about your NFT project and its inspiration and what's going on with that.
I first want to say hi to Jake. Jake, it's cool. We're up together.
Finally, the two best looking people on Hedera.
I did not that, but I can't disagree. Anyway, yeah. So, well, people know me from the project Earthlings. We're building a game because about 2 years ago, me, my brother, and Jorgo, we are the three founders. We saw that there was something missing in Web3, especially on quality, where we saw so many overhyped metaverse/games, and so we saw an opportunity actually there, and we took it because Marcel and I, we had an advertising agency for 20 years, so we knew a bit about marketing and design, well, quite a lot actually. So we said, let's do this new adventure, because I already quit working with him. I'm living in France now. He still lives in the Netherlands, and I missed working together with him. So we started Earthlings. And we were already blockchain enthusiasts, and we started building on Hedera because that's if you have a Web 2 approach, it makes sense. But that probably is something that we're going to talk about as well. So our focus lies on real gamers, because what we saw as well is that a lot of these metaverse or games on Web3 are focusing on the Web3 community. But if you look at it, the Web3 community is so tiny still. Yes, in 2 years, that's going to be 100% different. That's what I believe firmly. But for now, it's tiny. And if you look at the gamers, it's like half of the population are gaming. So why tap into just Web3? But on the other hand, Web3 is gradually coming to gaming. You see Ubisoft and Blizzard, they are even now building games with blockchain integrated. And I don't want to say play to earn, because I think they are maybe one of the, let me call myself one of the first movers. Let them be the second movers. But they are also one of the first movers that will probably use this technology to enhance the gameplay and not to use the selling point, what we've seen now so many times in the gaming space. And also the other approach that we take is, and the honest view, because I like to educate people as well. If you think of the word metaverse, gaming is a metaverse. If Roblox is the token. Roblox, for instance, it's a metaverse on itself. And the gaming industry, they really made a success of this metaverse concept. It's just some smart people who stole the word, gave it some upgrades, like you can shop in the metaverse, and they added shopping and stuff, and then they call it the metaverse. But the metaverse is nothing else than being online with friends and interacting and stuff like that. They just added some stuff to it. So gaming should come first, because gaming already proved that a metaverse can be a success, but you need the people. And that's the gamers, and because a metaverse needs to be fun. So that's where we come in. That's our point.
Cool. Let me just insert there for everybody's benefit. What are the main advantages of bolting on Web3 to existing game experiences?
You're asking, yeah. So to me, so I think many. Of course, there are the ownership is one of the things that is also overly hyped. So I also want to educate people here a bit, because I saw a lot of projects, because I do think it's a valuable thing, but I also see that ownership is hyped a lot as well, where people say the Web3 game and you can own it and you can sell it. Well, yeah, of course, it's super cool. But then the game needs to be a success as well. So look at the long-term view of the game. Is it something that if it had no NFTs in it, would you also play it? And yes, that ownership is amazing, because Mark from Hashpack explained it once in the Twitter space. Back then it was still Twitter and X space, where he said, I had all these assets, and then the other version came out and I lost all of them and I needed to get them all over again. But with an NFT, you actually really own it and you can sell it. But also, if you want to go to another game, you get bored of your games, because my nephews, they spend a lot of money on gaming. It's amazing. But then after a few months, sometimes a little longer, if it's a good game, they get bored of it. Hundreds of dollars down the drain. But now they can say, okay, the game is still a success. Many people love it. So you sell your assets and you go to the next game. But also, always only if the game is a success. But also dynamic NFTs. That's something I think that's now also integrated in Hedera. How awesome is that?
Yes.
I can go on for long.
Sure. We could talk for hours about that, and we hope to have you back on an opportunity to talk more, possibly with Basile, about gaming and the intersection of Hedera and gaming. So let's hop over here and talk to Jake now. And there we go. Whoops. Here we go. Jake Grelf. Thank you so much, my friend, for coming to this and sharing your experience and what you're working on. What is the inspiration of your NFT project? And just give us the whole kind of like broad stroke.
Well, Grelf is centered around a bald, weird, ugly guy named Gerbert the Grelf. It's a character I initially created as kind of an anti-spokesman for my Creets NFT project. The basic concept being, if someone was selling you something, what is the worst voice that person could have? The voice I chose was, "Hey everybody, Gerbert the Grelf here. Happy to be here. Look at me, I'm so happy and eloquent. Some might say I'm the smartest guy in the crypto sphere." When I first came up with that voice, I thought it was very, very funny. I almost slipped in the shower. And I started using it as a spokesman role. And then later I thought that it would be funny to make that anti-mascot the mascot for a meme coin. Because typically meme coins are one of two things. They're either cool, maybe the mascot has sunglasses, or they're cute, which is, your more popular dog, animal coins, etc. So I thought it would be funny to have this not cool, very much not cute, kind of opposite, realistic looking fantasy man creature that kind of is the antithesis of a lot of meme coins. I thought that would be funny.
Nice,
so it's really just a creative outlet for me and a way to have fun and make jokes.
Okay, nice. That's awesome. So meme coins, like right now, look, we've got 113 live people on the stream. Woohoo! Everybody, let's like, share, spread this around. What can we do, Jake, to make the Grelf meme coin hit the mainstream and go over the top? I think it's awesome. Like, can we do something off network? Like Patrick mentioned, we're NFT holders in Hedera is like a little tiny little micro dot of the entire universe. How can we latch Grelf onto something and make it popular mainstream?
Well, it's a great, meme coins in general are a great vehicle for that kind of thing because they're easy to understand immediately. One thing that's been very useful with Grelf, as it's the #1 meme coin currently on Hedera, is for the types of people who don't want to, go into detail, do a long YouTube deep dive and learn about Hedera, they are able, through buying Grelf, able to understand immediately the power and benefits of our network. Just by swapping Grelf, you see the speed, you see the efficiency, you see the low fixed fees. So it's a great onboarding mechanism. So you don't have to catch their attention and talk to them for a long time because some people tune out. The best way to kind of push Grelf and by extension push Hedera is just talk about it. I never tell people to buy. That's up to you. That's your own personal decision. It has no utility. It's just for fun. But yeah, the best way is just to talk about it. You don't have to hold it. Make memes, share memes.
Share with our
if I'm doing something. Yeah.
Influencers. Like, who's your non-Hedera influencer that you follow?
Probably Crypto Mason.
Crypto Mason, me too. So everybody hit Crypto Mason up right now. Go to his X, drop a link to this, tell him to hop in here and get a load of Grelf and tell people about it so that we can blast it out there. I don't know other way. We try to grapple hook to his audience. So I love Crypto
maybe
Mason.
If you do a sacrifice or burn some kind of sage over an effigy of Grelf, that might help. So that's also an option.
Or maybe learn how to shoot arrows. I've heard.
Okay, welcome Milan. Milan is one of our core members, as you guys all know. Patricia was having some issues, so we asked him to hop in. What's going on, Milan? We've got 2 more guests I think we want to get to pretty quick, but
yeah, all good, all good. We're kind of like behind the scenes. We're like scrambling, trying to get Patricia back up. In the meantime, I'll be her replacement. Not as good as a replacement as Patricia herself, but hey, I'll do my best. And I'm in great company. So yeah, happy to be here. Great to see you, Jake, Patrick, and Tony. Wonderful. So you said we have two guests left. Who do we have? And I believe
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Patrick. Let's see. We have.
I think we have Jesse. Or did we got everyone?
Did we get everyone? Jess, okay. Michael, May, Patrick, Jake. We're missing Andy. Okay, so Andy from Citadel Wallet, we're calling you out. We wanted to have you. Maybe he ran into some kind of issue, but we'll get you on next time because we want to talk about what you guys did as well. So what do you think? Let's put everybody back on. No, we have one more, Will, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Okay. I'm going to back this up. We're going to do something a little unconventional because we pre-recorded what could this party be without DeadPIxels. So I'm going to share my screen. Yes. And entire screen. And here, share audio. And here we go. Okay, so we now are honored to have with us Will from the DeadPIxel Club. Will is one of the premier projects. Obviously, we had to have him on this town hall. So please take a minute. Will, introduce yourself and answer the first question. Introduce your project, why you chose Hedera, and tell us a little bit about the backstory.
Well, thanks for having me, guys, and appreciate the flexibility to pre-record. Yeah, so my name is Will. I'm one of the co-founders of DeadPIxels Club, and so in terms of the project, there's 3 of us, longtime friends. We had been working on creative projects in the past, going way back, to what feels like when we were kids. We started a web comic online for fun, and we got really lucky that started seeing a lot of success, and that really, it whet our appetite in terms of, feeling like this was something that we loved doing, creating content, building audiences and communities online. And so, we stuck together as friends and did this for a long time, and we've been friends ever since. And then, so, fast forward to now, recently we started really becoming excited about the Hedera ecosystem. And we started diving in head first, learning about it. And at that time was really when NFTs started to, take roots in Hedera. The tokenization movement on Hedera started to really come about. And so, that really just instantly sparked some excitement with us. It just seemed like a natural fit. We had been looking for that, that next creative project we wanted to work on. And the idea of being able to tokenize art was something that got us really excited. So it was a natural fit, and we decided this was something we really wanted to sink our teeth into. And so we decided to start an NFT project, and the rest is history. We started putting the wheels in motion, putting our getting creative juices flowing again, and once we decided to start, about 6 months later, we launched the project. So it's been a ton of fun, really exciting, and I think it's definitely surpassed our expectations in terms of just how much we'd enjoy it and how much we'd feel like we wanted to kind of commit to a project like this. So we're really excited about what's to come.
Awesome. And I'm glad that you mentioned expectations, because it gives me the perfect segue for the second question. So in terms of expectations that you have when you started the project versus the outcome and what we really have today with the DeadPIxels Host Club, tell us more about that.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, because I think with expectations, when NFTs were just starting to come about, what we got excited about was just the simple idea of now art can be owned digitally and traded frictionlessly, peer to peer. And that was something that just it just made so much sense. It just felt like this is clearly a great use case for distributed ledger technology. And so we're like, okay, let's definitely get into this. So expectations were, in the beginning, was very simple. We were like, okay, this is a great way to tokenize art and sell art. But as we went on, and as we even started exploring ourselves, we realized, in this space, it really has taken on a life that's a little bit different. It's, people are looking at brands, they're looking at communities. And I think there's a little bit of a double-edged sword there in terms of sometimes those expectations can cause communities and projects to try to turn NFTs into something that I don't necessarily think they are yet, or even necessarily need to be. And so sometimes we potentially do too much that kind of, in some ways, causes more drawbacks than positives. But with that said, I think there are also a lot of really interesting layers that come into the picture when you look at it as more than just art that's been tokenized. That whole brand and community dynamic is something that definitely exceeded our expectations in terms of what can come about when you really lean into that. And I think that's something that we've become really excited about. And we feel like, okay, not only can we have a lot of fun with this creative process that now can be tokenized, we can really enjoy and kind of explore, what does it mean to build a brand and a community around an art project, and people who own these pieces of art now digitally. So that's been a lot of fun. It's exceeded our expectations. And, I think we have a lot of fun, exciting ideas that we're really looking forward to in the future.
Nice. And how many individual ecosystem members are a part of the club and have been doing this with you guys? Do you know?
Yeah, so there's three. Again, there's three founders, but in terms of holders, like on SentX, it shows the holder count, and right now I think it's about 1,160. And so, those are all our, our unique holders, and we consider them as, that's our community. Those are the people that are, helping us push this project forward. I don't know what you mean in terms of, specifically in terms of your question. We have, like moderators in the Discord and things like that. There's definitely community members who step up and are a huge part of pushing the project forward. But yeah, in terms of holders, just over 1,100, and we hope to see that number continue to grow.
Nice. Definitely. We want to see it grow as well. And you guys are an important part of the Hedera ecosystem. So that leads to my next question, which we'll be asking everyone else in the panel, but we want to hear your answer as well before we move to that. So what would you guys like to see, or what does your community want to see in the future in terms of features or possibly strategic direction of Hedera and the ecosystem itself? Any ideas there?
Yeah. So I'm definitely a massive Hedera maxi, or at least I've become that in recent years. So there's a lot of thoughts just across the board, but I'll stick to, the NFT retail side of things at the moment. Just, again, focusing on kind of the creatives working in the Hedera space. For me, I think the biggest opportunity that I see for Hedera NFTs is what I'd kind of call discoverability. And so by discoverability, I mean, take Magic Eden, for example. Magic Eden is a marketplace that has multiple different, it has multiple chains that it kind of services. And so there's a lot of people that are on Magic Eden, for example, and they can just click, okay, let me check out what's on Polygon, let me check out what's on Ethereum, and that's a discoverability element. They can just say, okay, let me go see this, and now suddenly there's a lot of eyeballs on those ecosystems, and they can see all those NFTs. I think that there's definitely an opportunity for Hedera to break into, and I mean, it would be fantastic if we have the Kabila, one of the Kabila founders, Kabila, one of the SentX founders right here, and then we have Kabila in the ecosystem as well. I mean, that would just be fantastic if these platforms on Hedera find a way to partner and integrate with these larger communities. It would just create this discoverability element, and we also have heard platforms like PixFi are coming about. So I'm rambling at the moment, but it's hard to articulate exactly. But I'd say that the discoverability element, a way for more people to just through happenstance be able to just discover what's available on Hedera, would be huge for our ecosystem.
In this case, I have good news for you, Will, because you mentioned PixFi. SentX is a PixFi partner, and we are going to be the HBAR NFTs market from when they launch. So that is
fantastic news. I have to admit, I had heard rumblings about that, and yeah, so that is something that I'm very excited. I'm hopeful that platforms like that can gain traction. I mean, I know that PixFi has an audience on Hedera, so that's great. What I'm crossing my fingers is that they can kind of build those audiences on those other networks as well, because I think there are some really fantastic projects on Hedera, and I think all they need is that discoverability element where people from a larger network can just see, oh, here's an interesting project, I'm just going to check it out. And I think that there's definitely projects on Hedera that have the quality, where if they, again, I'm using this word discoverability a lot, if there's that discoverability element and enough people are just kind of seeing what's happening, they could definitely make some waves on a larger scale. So yeah, that's definitely kind of the direction that I would say would be exciting for Hedera to kind of explore.
Awesome, great, I love that. So for the sake of time, Patricia, Will, thank you so much for meeting us in advance so that we could record that. Patricia, let's hop back into the live stream with everybody else, and we'll continue the town hall. Will, appreciate you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate talking to you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
That was so nice. It's such a nice way to get Australia on there. Obviously it's in a completely often neglected time zone, and this was such a nice way to get Will on there as well. It's very well done and very nice,
no doubt.
Great insights.
No doubt. Awesome. So here we are. So Will had his idea about discoverability of our projects. I think that's a smart thing. I mean, we do need discoverability and visibility across all the other chains, but can we just, anybody, let me just extend the mic to, let's make it open. What do you guys think about all this? about what we can do, the strategic direction. Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the question was, so what would you like to see implemented? I would love to see more focus actually on retail, in the sense that a lot of people know Hedera and all the governing partners. If sometimes I speak to people who don't know about Hedera, and I tell them about what they are working on the background banking system, and show them the governing council members, and they are like just blown away with it, and they see where it's going. But it also means that a lot of people see it as more a business, a big company orientated chain, I think. And I would love to see more focus on retail in a way that it's, let's say it like this: we chose Hedera because of the low fees, easy to integrate in anything that you're building, because we tried some other chains. We checked that out first. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't first on the list, but hey, we're here. Well, because Jorgo didn't know about Hedera yet, our programmer. And eventually, he turned down all these other projects because it was so difficult to program on. I think if people know, so eventually we went for Hedera, because after 1 hour, Jorgo said, this is it, I want to program on this. This is perfect for what we're building. I think if more people get to know that, and especially in the gaming sector, that we can onboard more games, because I would applaud more quality games coming to Hedera, and with that, the growth will come as well, and maybe more meme tokens as well. They're going to have a hard time beating Jake, but
okay.
I would applaud
focus on retail. Okay, May, what are your?
Yeah, I was actually talking to someone from the HBAR Foundation the other week, and they're saying that Hedera's gaming space is actually very strong. It's just that we don't have a lot of marketing around that to show that we actually do have a gaming sector inside of Hedera, that there are developing games using our platform. So I think that Will's comment in his little speech about discoverability is huge. I think that with Hedera getting a new CMO right now, that's like cutting edge news from this morning. I think we have a big opportunity in the ecosystem to spread the word, to kind of focus on DeFi and focus on the retail space. And shout out to the foundation as well for their DeFi Spring campaign, which also just launched yesterday, where they're putting in, I think, I want to say $100 million, but maybe that's just something I read somewhere. But a lot of money into the DeFi space and bringing incentives to bring people over. And I think that everybody is kind of feeling like, yeah, Hedera is ready right now, and we just need to spread the word. We just need people to have a look and try it out. Jake, your comment on just like trying out the meme coin and just sending it around and seeing how easy it is, I think that that's spot on as well. So yeah, just getting people hearing about it and getting curious.
Yeah, it was 100 million HBAR is what these guys are saying. May 100 million HBAR. Yeah, Michael, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree a lot with what folks are saying. More discoverability, more focus on retail, but in particular, I think one of the biggest things that we hear from founders and creators in the ecosystem is just not having the funds to create something really interesting. Because I've been in tech for over a decade as a software engineer and as an engineering manager. And I realized that a lot of these ideas and things that folks would like to build are extremely expensive. Just to hire a dev it can be astronomical, and folks would like to build things like games and dApps and platforms, but you start getting into the ring of it and you want to build a game like Earthlings, for example. You've got Patrick here, and Patrick can tell you just how incredibly expensive it is to develop and create a whole world and work in Unity and all of these things, and you start to realize like, hey, unless you've got astronomical levels of funding, how do you actually build this out? How do you actually create these games on the network? And I think for a lot of folks who want to, they've got the capability to create art, they have the capability to bring people together, but they don't have the funds to go and actually build these games out. And it is a risky and difficult endeavor. And I think additional funding for those creators who want to pursue those paths would also be huge. On the flip side, there's a part of me who'd like to play devil's advocate and say that I think we've got really, really great foundations here in technology. It's probably one of the easiest networks to actually build and deliver something. When we came to Hedera, we launched our rarity tools for HBAR literally in 2 hours, because using the APIs and SDKs was that easy. I'd never seen anything like that. You don't need to run your own node or anything like that. You get instant access to data to a free API that's World is running for the ecosystem. We have incredible flexibility with our Hedera token service, Hedera consensus service, and we don't talk about that enough, how incredible the developer experience is, and maybe more focus and light on the fact that it is easy to build here to attract developers, combined with a little bit of influx of funding to bring those developers in. And I think we could see some really, really cool use cases from the retail side on our network. So just to TLDR, more funding. Okay.
For sure, for sure. Patricia, what you think, girl?
Thank you so much for everyone that are here right now. I'm sorry, I just got the end of the question. It's true that we need a lot more eyes on us than what we have right now, because this relates to what Will was saying about us having more reach. We don't have a lot right now, and it's true that we need to have more reach, more help as well from the entities that are connected to Hedera, because we need that for the retail side to survive, let's say, like this. Because Michael, you were spot on. Any project takes a lot of resources that most of the time the projects don't have, and it's really hard for a project to survive in this ecosystem, being small as it is right now, and having to fund everything that it's needed for a project. Like you were saying, devs are a high cost for any projects. If you don't have a dev and you need to hire devs, your budget skyrockets just from that end alone. And we need help, and we need help faster, especially. So let's hope that things will change moving forward. It seems that way, so let's see.
Even though you guys do have, like, what you say is valid, but also let's stay positive here, because the Hedera space has grown by a lot. We jumped up 4 times in DeFi volume since like January of this year, and the Hedera space is growing very, very quickly this year. And I think that we are in a very good position compared to, working through the bear market of since like 2021, 2022. So I think that we need to focus on the positives. We need to show our enthusiasm and bring in the community and say, hey, we're doing really cool stuff here. We're having a lot of fun. And I think that kind of positive sentiment is going to really drive a lot of growth. And with growth in Web3 comes a lot of opportunity. So I think that staying positive and spreading the word that way will really help us as a community. And of course, the campaign from the HBAR Foundation and hopefully the new marketing direction from World will really help us hit those growth spikes.
Yeah, no doubt. Support in the ways that we've all kind of discussed, with that creating visibility or discoverability, hooking ourselves up to other networks and other markets where other technically inferior products now are just getting all of the volume, as well as on the marketing side with PR and promoting these projects, because you guys have done, like, we've got a perfect representation of all the different types of projects, from meme coins to INOs, game integrated NFTs. you guys have created a very strong foundation and technical execution of this that is investable in the future if we can get that help that Patricia was asking for in pushing these projects out there and demonstrating, like with the idea of doing the meme coin, promotion. Why not? Let's all get behind Grelf, including these foundations, and start doing some PR and, what have you. So we haven't heard from you yet, Jake. Tell us what you're thinking on this.
So at the beginning of this year, I was saying that this was going to be the year of DeFi for Hedera, and it looks like that's true. I've been very pleased with kind of the change that I've seen in the HBAR Foundation. They've really been, putting the full force kind of behind what they've been saying earlier in this year with the DeFi Spring Initiative. As far as marketing, something I would like to see that I think would be very easy to do is just some fun retail targeted commercials. You don't have to say pump this coin. You don't have to use any of the language that they're afraid of using. You can just like have a funny commercial that makes jokes and mentions Hedera and mentions why it's good and why it's cool. And whenever I see commercials from Hedera, they're very stiff and they're usually targeted towards enterprise. And I think that's a mistake because a lot of times who in the enterprise world is seeing those commercials? Usually mostly retail people are seeing them. When you want to talk to enterprise people, like, they have the connections to make those meetings happen. They don't need to advertise to enterprises, I don't think, in my opinion. So I'd really love to see some fun and creative commercials. I've personally got thoughts. It doesn't have to be complex, doesn't have to be super degen. And, probably cost, maybe $150, honestly, to make something quick and easy and fun that you can just blast out there. So that's something.
Yeah, we could, honestly, but you people who are here right now would be the perfect perfect object of a commercial, highlighting all the projects and saying, look at all the great stuff we've done on Hedera, not targeting enterprise. How many millions of dollars have gone towards targeting enterprise that you wisely said, we don't need to advertise to enterprise. We need to advertise to the masses. And I don't know where you find them, but probably by sponsoring influencers like Crypto Mason.
Well, and also we desperately in the Hedera community need a giraffe. We need a real physical giraffe for everyone to look up to.
When you were saying,
yeah.
When you were saying that we need to do these commercials, I was seeing a Grelf commercial.
No doubt.
Shilling Hedera.
Hey, we're over 200 live streamers, by the way, you guys. This is the largest one we've had. 200 people tuning in live. That's pretty good. It's a good start.
So the question is, of those 200 live streamers, how many of you would donate to get a giraffe for Grelf?
Yay!
Perfect one. Exactly. This needs to happen for sure. Absolutely. And as soon as possible, because the longer it takes, the worse it is. We need this fast. There you go.
Yeah. So if you're on live, please grab the link real quick, share it on LinkedIn and Twitter, X, Facebook, if you're on Facebook, but put it out there for us. Help us support this ecosystem. Join the HBAR Foundry. Get to know more awesome people that take action. They're not all talk. They actually execute on projects. That's what we need more of. So if you're like that, if you have a project that you'd like to have highlighted by the HBAR Foundry in the future, then fill out a form on hbarfoundry.com and join our Friday meetings. A lot of these folks here attend on a regular basis, and we're always interested in having new builders join the ecosystem. So even if you're not technical, if you're a business development person, an entrepreneur in the Hedera ecosystem, find somebody who's part of the HBAR Foundry and ask them to invite you in. We're kind of a ad hoc collective, but we want to represent what everybody's kind of thinking and feeling and supporting all of the awesome projects out there like these guys. So we have 5 minutes left. What do you guys want to talk about?
I think we should talk about modern politics and maybe religion. Really easy to get into subjects.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the name of this said giraffe and how long of a scarf do we need to buy it or make for it?
Well, the name of the giraffe is Bertha.
Okay.
Regardless of what giraffe we get or whether or not it has a name, we will be renaming it Bertha. Why, you ask? Because it sort of rhymes with Hedera. Sort of. We don't want a full rhyme. We want a slant rhyme where if you read it, you kind of squint. That's the concept there.
Well, at least the concept is strong-ish.
Will we find that on Earthlings land, though? The giraffe needs a place to live, so.
Well, in the zoo, because I'm not opening up Africa just yet.
Okay.
I first need to make a man cave for Warlock.
Please.
Okay.
There's nowhere else I can stay.
All right. All right. I have to ask where we can tune in to watch the karate combat fight, May.
I think you just go to Karate Combat or karate.com. There's also a link in the Consensus 2024 page where you can buy tickets right now. I would say if you are in the Austin, Texas area, to buy the tickets and not wait for their second free giveaway, because it apparently just goes super fast. But yeah, it's a week out, and I'm deep into fight camp, so it's going to be real fun. I'm actually going to start walking over there right now because my training starts soon for morning training. Then I'll be back in the evening. We're doing doubles.
Yep.
Kind of crazy.
And for the ones that are hearing about this now, do we know already if it's possible to bet on you for the fights?
I don't know, but if you want to bet on me for the fight, I would ping Karate Combat on Twitter, because any sort of visibility just shows how strong our community is. So that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Everybody ping Karate Combat on Twitter that we want to bet on May Chan Karate Combat battle. What's the date of the fight, May? You're muted.
It's on Thursday, which is next week, the 30th of May.
Okay. Awesome. May 30th. Everybody tune in and support our Hashpack May. And yeah, I'd like to thank you, Patricia. I'm sorry you had a little network issues, but we worked it out and you're back. This was so great to have you help me organize all of these projects into this, and we can do more of this. We definitely want to hear more from all of you guys, and hopefully the foundation and the the HBAR Foundation and the Hashcraft Association will throw some money together so we can promote Grelf all around the world and demonstrate the technical, dominant performance of our public network, the Hedera public network. All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much. Milan, thanks for jumping in. Jim, Jesse, everybody who helped on the back end that we don't see. We thank you guys so much for helping out with this. It takes a team. All right, signing off.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye. See you next time.